guys, so one phrase that kind of gets thrown around a lot when talking about like technology and new stuff is the phrase, "we are living in the future," which is just, inherently false. Like, by definition, we are living in the present and cannot be living anywhere else. But it's just interesting to kind of think about the ways that like we see new technology and like imagine what the future is like, and just like what perceptions we have of the future. I think that one thing that's especially big recently is like the whole Google Glass, which aside from being something that like seems like it would come out of a science fiction thing, just doesn't really have any appeal for me. Like, it is cool in the sense that like this is the kind of thing that you'd see in a book or a movie, and like it just has that kind of general feel of like future technology, but like it's not something that like I would really want to use. I'm pretty happy with like the current level of, I guess, intrusiveness in technology. Like, I like being able to have, something in my pocket or something I can carry around and get at the internet and the world with that, but I wouldn't want something on my face all the time. And I also just really don't see the appeal of like voice commands. Like, I don't use voice commands on my phone. If I had an iPhone, I don't imagine that I would use Siri. Like, I mean, maybe it's just me, but I don't really see voice-controlled things as the future of technology. At least in partly, because if you just had to walk around saying words to this thing on your face, like, you would look ridiculous. I personally think that just like phones and computers and tablets are all just kind of merge into more and more similar devices, which is already happening with a lot of Apple products. And TVs too, probably to an extent. Like, at a certain point we might just have one machine that just like, there's one size that goes in our pocket and one size that goes on a desk and one on the wall. And I feel like I've also read that like at a certain point we will just start having information streamed directly into our brains, which that does not appeal to me at all. Like, I mean, for one thing, how would that even work? Like, for things on the internet, or like checking Twitter is like, it's in itself. Like, I wouldn't just want to have the knowledge of Twitter just in my brain and not have to do anything with it, because that would just be useless. And the same thing, like, reading a book, or at least a fiction book, like, it's all in the reading of the book. That's like the enjoyment part. Like, I wouldn't just want the book in my head. Though that would be handy for like non-fiction things, or like news, or like if you could learn new skills Matrix style. But then also just generally, I don't want any outside anything communicating directly with my brain. Like, I've seen that episode of Doctor Who, I've seen Dollhouse, I know where this goes and it doesn't end well, and just more generally, like, that'd be weird. Like, I don't know if that's a kind of technology that will, ever become commonplace, but if it's something that like came around in my lifetime, I would probably pass. So technology is weird. I can't really imagine being someone who was born like a long time ago and not having had technology being advancing this crazily rapidly throughout my entire life, because I'm already just like, everything is going so fast and some of it is weird and I don't know what's happening. But I am still interested to see what the future will, actually be like, and I wonder how much it will be influenced by, what we perceive it to be and our, views of science fiction and that kind of thing. If you guys have any thoughts on technology or the future or things, let me know in comments, and otherwise I'll talk to you tomorrow.